if this thing works. I got a feeling it doesn't. Just seeing. Just want to test it. I don't think it does. My God. That's so whack. Oh, wait, it did. I'm back. I'm back. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, I'm back. I'm back, damn it. I'm back. I'm back, damn it. I didn't think it would be possible. I didn't think it would work. We did it. The NFL's not going to take down my YouTube channel for watching clips that were already posted on the internet. We're back. Caleb Williams sucks. Sorry about the delay in the echo. I got to make sure this thing's going through and not working. Caleb Williams sucks. I'll say it again. Now we have a real anti-Caleb Williams agenda on this channel. Oh, my heart is pounding. Oh my God. Dude, I hate the copyright stuff. The NFL doesn't care about my channel. They don't care. They would kick me off for anything. They would kick me off at the drop of a hat. The NFL does not care about a channel that I've been working on for years. I already got one copyright strike, another, and I'm done for the year. So I'd be out for the season, torn ACL. Oh my God. All right. All right. Now we know. I just got to restart OBS next time. That's the secret, guys. If you ever start live streaming and you get copyright strike for watching Bears-Vikings Monday Night Football, restart OBS. Ugh. I feel like I almost just passed out. I was so stressed. Oh my God. That was way worse than Giants Commanders, by the way. That was so much worse. That was so much worse. Oh my Lord. Okay. Anyway, guys, Caleb Williams sucks. And I'm fully on the bandwagon now. That is so true. That is exactly what happened. What all you guys were saying about how the NFL didn't want to kill the Caleb Williams agenda, about how they didn't want to hurt their golden boy. We're not doing that. We're not even going to have this small of a window. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. Oh my God. All right. Okay. The only good thing to come out of that was that I found out that someone reacted to my Madden video that I posted a while ago. So I want to watch this. I won't watch the whole thing. I just want to pull it up and see if this is like legit and not some bit. I don't apologize to anyone. I don't apologize to anyone. I have never in my life had someone react to one of my videos. I think this is crazy. In my life, you can see my stupid ass with my balance bracelet right here. Because I know they can't copyright me for this. I made this one. They can't copyright me for this. So I just think this is nuts. I think this is crazy. I don't even want to watch this. I just think this is funny. A guy with a underdog code. And to be fair, like not a huge channel, Hail Mary Media. But I'm going to smash a like. And yeah. So, what a night. What a night. Repent to Caleb Williams or forever be sorry. Oh, my God. Oh. Dude, I don't even know what to say anymore. I feel like we covered everything. I mean, I was going to analyze more film. I don't know what it was because we've watched highlights before. I don't know, like, what exactly it was. Maybe it's ESPN. Maybe ESPN has, like, better bots or something. And like, it's just weird. The copyright rules are so dumb because if I did a like reaction video, no one would it wouldn't matter. Flight does reaction videos all the time, but because it's live, they think like, oh, I'm collecting donations. So like, I guess that's how I'm making money by showing off like clips. And yeah, Chris Brown talking about the Bengals. Yeah, they looked great. Yeah. I think you already forgot about what we saw yesterday in Cincy or in Cleveland, I should say. Just what should have been a Bengals L. So, I mean, the Browns had an impressive 29 rushing yards. Dylan Sampson, lead back, bell cow roll, 2 yards a carry. Pretty good, pretty solid. Yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of just shook. But yeah, so back to this to come down from the just sweat that was. To come down from that, I want to say the Vikings, I don't know how to feel about the Vikings. I don't. Their defense looked really, really strong. Got to give them credit where credit's due. Their defense looked really good. They were laying hits. They were getting pressures. Clearly their run game is solid. I mean, they got Jordan Mason, who looks really good. Aaron Jones that's a great committee, right? At least as it stands right now, considering they're both healthy. Jage didn't have a good game. I'm not going to sit here and say he did, but he won. 143 yards. People were wondering if he could throw 10 yards down the field and all that jazz. Can't complete a pass, all that. But he won the game. So who do the Vikings have next week? Who do they have? The Vikings have... Clicked on the wrong thing. The Vikings have the Falcons. On prime time, no less, which is a weird Sunday night football game. Really strange game. But I don't know who to take here. I really don't. I feel like if you're the Vikings, that's a team win. You're happy about it. And this is going to be a big test to find out if Michael Penix is better than J.J. McCarthy. He has more experience, but he has less help. And Michael Penix doesn't have a healthy right tackle. Falcons could have easily won that game against the Bucs. So the Falcons looked good. Penix had a good day. Not his greatest day, but he had a good day. So you kind of have to sit there and be like, well, where does this go next week? And I think next week's going to be a lot more realistic to see like who's good, who's not. And I'm just kind of interested in it. I'm just kind of interested to see who's going to win. This is going to be a big agenda bowl. And I'm glad it's the Sunday night game. I know it's a weird matchup, and it probably doesn't need to be. I feel like 10 o'clock on Fox would have done the same job. But we're all going to watch, and we're all going to have opinions. J.J. McCarthy, back-to-back games on prime time. The NFL wants him to be good, clearly. The NFL really wants to see a good J.J. McCarthy. So who knows? Who knows? Bijan Robinson's their leading receiver, which is weird. We'll find out. We'll find out. I don't really know what else to say. You know, I was kind of getting to the tail end of the stream anyway. And I'm definitely not going to go back and watch these highlights. God forbid. So maybe next time. I think what it was is you got to like pause it like very frequently. Like you got to pause the clips frequently. I don't know. We're going to come back. I'm just glad I didn't get a copyright strike. Because I plan on streaming for the rest of the season, and I refuse to just watch box scores. Okay, this is all public info. This is all on the internet as it stands, and I think it's really rich for the NFL to bully the little guy in this situation. So who do we think is going to win Vikings-Falcons next week? I'll lead with that. Who do you think is going to win Vikings-Falcons? This was also a dot. I want to play this. Oh, no. I'm turning off the sound. That's another thing. Turning off the sound. Big. See, if Caleb Williams makes that throw, everybody's freaking out. Everybody's going crazy. Oh, my God. No way. How'd he do it? Everyone's freaking out if Caleb Williams makes that throw. So I thought this was a good in-the-bucket pass right to Aaron Jones, the Vikings' leading receiver for some reason. If you had him in fantasy, this saved your night. If you were going against him, this broke your night. Falcons, because the offense actually looks defense. I think you mean decent. And if that's the truth, then I don't disagree with you. I think the Falcons will... I think we'll find out. I got to think it through. I got to like really dig deep and look a little closer. I watched Falcons Bucks, and it was a close one. It was a fun one, but it's tough. The Falcons defense looks good. Vikings going to win versus Falcons easily. I like it. I think the Vikings defense was really inspiring tonight. I think the pass rush really got through. It obviously really flustered Caleb Williams, so there's that. So who knows? Who knows? I mean, clearly, Ann Valix, which looks like a Cam Ward jersey. So welcome to the chat, buddy. I'm not Cam Ward's biggest fan or supporter by any stretch, but hey, I respect it. The Titans did things against Denver. They threw passes, they ran the football, they played defense, but just perfectly timed on a rope. J.J. McCarthy, see ya, dude. Right to AJ. Perfect. Right? Let's get off that before the NFL gets us again. But cool stuff all around. So that was week one. That was a fun game. Those were some fun primetime games in week one. We had Cowboys-Eagles, which was way closer than it should have been. They played a football game, but besides that, not a lot of highlights. Exactly. That's exactly what I was getting at. They played a football game. You've been JJ McCarthy. Cowboys and Eagles was a surprisingly good game. Chiefs Chargers was also a lot of fun. Giants Commanders, we can skip that one. Bucks Falcons, obviously that was a good one. Bengals Browns, Bengals fans stand up. Dolphins Colts, Dolphins are a disaster. Week 1 was great. Raiders Patriots, I thought the Raiders looked good. I don't think Gianti looked great. So that's a weird little thing there. Did you guys know Geno Smith is second in the NFL in passing yards? You guys know that? So, yeah, I think that's pretty nutty. Kayshon Boutte, sneaky fantasy pickup. Cardinals Saints. Saints played better than expected, but Cardinals, once again underwhelmed. Steelers Jets, really fun. Didn't expect that to be great. That was a top 3 game. Panthers Jags, both teams looked awful in my opinion. I think if you're the Panthers, you're hitting the full panic button. Then Titans Broncos, we just talked about that. Not too crazy. Obviously the Broncos defense is really good though. As a Cam Ward hater who has been on record to say the Titans are going to lose every single game, each day that take gets tougher and tougher to defend. And the Browns probably should have won, but they didn't. Ball game. And also, what Chris Brown said about Zach Taylor not knowing how to scheme off rip, completely spot on, completely accurate. My God, the Bengals always limp out the gate. It's so weird to me. It's so crazy. That should be like prime time. Zach Taylor can't do it the first few weeks. If you look at Jamar Chase's fantasy numbers, which fantasy football isn't real football, but the fact that your best offensive player can't have a good game in the first 2 weeks of the season for 4 straight years, that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Let me pull that up. Actually, let me pull that up. Jamar Chase fantasy. Because I want to prove a point here. And once again, the best typer on earth makes his return. Where are the numbers? Fantasy Pros. Here we go. Oh, God. This website's really clean. Oh, boy. This isn't going to be good. This isn't going to be good at all. Per game. Can we find per game? Oh, game log. Here we go. Game log. Yeah. 2.6 fantasy points, right? And then you go here. 6.2, 3.5. And he picks it up in week 3. I'm not saying he doesn't. Jamar Chase is good. I'm not going to sit here and say Jamar Chase isn't a good football player. He's good. But at a certain... What the hell? All right, 2023, right? Same thing. 4-3. 2022. 18-5. That was better. He got a touchdown. They did better this week. But since 2023, 3 straight seasons, Jamar Chase has started slow. And I don't think T. Higgins did amazing either. We can look that up and verify. Again, I repeat myself. Fantasy football is not real football. But if you can't get your best players involved, that is worth noting. Okay? T. Higgins did nothing. First couple weeks last year, he didn't play, so that's not really fair. But still, they get further points. Proves that Jamar Chase should have done better. 0-20. 0. He didn't get a look. He didn't get a single catch. They lost 3-24 against Cleveland in 2023. They start slow. The Browns lost because they're the Browns. I completely agree. So that's my stance on that game. What else happened? Lions, Packers. Lions looked bad. I got a feeling they'll bounce back, though. I got a feeling the Lions will bounce back. They have 7 coaches left. So, yeah, 7 new coaches at least. So I feel like the Lions are a team primed for some sort of... They got to take a step up. They got to. Jared Goff's not my favorite quarterback, but he still didn't have a bad game. Rams, Texans. The Texans were my big takeaway there. They didn't score in the second half. Their offensive line looks terrible, and I wouldn't be inspired at all if I were a Houston Texans fan. Ravens, Bills, obviously game of the week. So much fun. All kinds of narratives. Obviously, I think big picture, it's only going to really matter for seeding. Obviously, both of these teams are going to make the playoffs, provided there's no catastrophic injuries. But I don't know. The Lions do have to figure it out, though. They do, but I think they will. I think next week's going to be a big statement win. I think we're going to really figure out something next week in Vikings-Lions. My video that came out today, Week 1's a liar. Check it out if you didn't already. Says basically just toss out this week. The Giants may have lost to the Commanders, but it doesn't count. It's Week 1. Catch me next week. I'm confident we'll beat Dallas. Okay? So, I was able to trade Puka for Jamar Chase. What a move. Bravo to you. That's sick. That makes me really happy, actually. That's textbook how to win a fantasy league. And people do panic. Yes. So if you're in any fantasy leagues, trade for Jamar Chase. The guy in my league always takes Jamar Chase, so I really can't. He's very familiar with this game. But yeah, that's how you take advantage. Buy low, sell high. Another great video of mine. How to trade in fantasy football. And anyone can beat Dallas, Muhammad. There you go. I mean, anyone can beat anyone, apparently. But yes. So next week, I will definitely be streaming after Commanders Packers. So I think we should preview that game now because that's probably the next time I'll get on stream. We're going to take a little break because I've mentioned it before, but I'm coming off of COVID, I think, or some kind of illness. I was in Spain and some Spanish dude sneezed on me, I think. So, I'm trying to recover. That way I can stream as long as possible without any reservations. No injury, no slowing down. No, what's it called? Pitch count? No. Snap count. There it is. I thought baseball before football. Weird moment. But yeah, Commanders Packers. I don't know if Steven's still in here, but I know Muhammad is. This is going to be a fun one. This is going to be a fun one for me because I think the Packers are going to win by a lot. I think the Packers are a much better team. Spread opens up Packers minus 3.5. I read it. Should we do a fantasy thing? I feel like that's what I'll do, actually. Most of the wide receiver ones were weird. I completely agree. Nico did awful. Ladd didn't do enough. London didn't do much. I agree. Lions do need to adjust. Yeah, that's true, actually. 2 different coordinators. It is pretty low level. It's got to be tough. That's what I mean. I think the Lions will adjust. Let's actually do a fantasy thing. We'll do a fantasy thing, but really quick, I just want to preview this game. I think the Packers are going to win by a lot. And that's not because of the Micah Parsons trade, although that does help. I think it's more so because I'm not a Commanders believer. I'm a hater. But am I starting Bill Krosky-Merritt? Probably. I think so. So let's do this. Let's go through some fantasy stats. Let's go through some fantasy numbers, and then we'll get out of Dodge for the night. We got out of Dodge. All right. Let's go all players. Week 1. Okay. How's this going to work? Nope, not projections. Actual numbers. The nitty-gritty week 1 numbers. Let's go QBs. Top QBs of the week. Josh Allen, Justin Fields, Dan Jones. Classic. And as a Giants fan who's seen Dan Jones many, many times, he's a solid fantasy option. He likes to run. He's a solid fantasy option. If you're trying to win a Super Bowl, he's one of the worst guys you could ever have. I cannot believe Aaron Rodgers' top 7 finish. Good for Raj. Also, don't pay attention to these ridiculous names, by the way. Just, I'm War and Peace. Danny the GOAT. Yeah, Dan Jones. Jalen Hurts. I guess Caleb Williams. 2 rushing touchdowns will do that. Or I guess 1 rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. Solid. I guess I'll start Caleb next week. I have him as my backup because Purdy's probably going to miss time. So there you go. Not that Purdy's really super inspiring. So any other big takeaways? Jaden Daniels didn't do great. Kyler, not too much. Who else did like a real Trevor? Russ didn't do well. So those are the quarterbacks. I think wide receivers where it gets pretty crazy. Zay Flowers is your wide receiver 1 for the week. Who would have thought? On 1 touchdown, no less. Who would have thought? Keon Coleman's number 2. That was just a high-flying, fun game. QJ's number 3. That's obviously going to be the hot waiver pickup for this week. I'll probably throw in a little claim, throw some fab money down. Egbuka, the dude in my league drafted him in like the 6th or 7th round. And, good move, I guess. Wide receiver 4 at the moment. Puka, 5. That's the only first-round guy that actually did well. Keep your eyes on Mac Jones to see how he does in that 49ers offense because I don't see a big... Is Mac Jones? No, Mac Jones isn't the Niners' backup. That's not true. Mac Jones is not the 49ers' backup. No. We're going to see Mac Jones? No. Oh, my God. All right. Okay. That's good. Good call, John. Good call. This is going to be fun. If Mac Jones gets the start, I'm going to freak out. That would be amazing. In New England? Is the game in New England? Is the game in New England? If it is, I might go. I might fly out, dude. That is an all-timer. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. The game's not in New England. Okay, they don't play the Patriots this week. They play the Patriots, next week? Is that what the article was getting at? I think. Wait, what is this article talking about? Wait, what? Patriots prove the Patriots wrong. Oh, what? Oh, that's so whack. Okay, still cool. I thought that like this article framed it. I realize now it's a Patriots website. This article framed it as if he was playing the Patriots. I got a little too excited. Still, though, Mac Jones return. Mac Jones revenge game. I am excited. The Commanders' running game is really concerning for playoff contenders this season. Now, I think Bill's good. Mac Jones, 150, 1 tub, 3 picks. I don't think he'll throw 3 picks. I think he'll throw 4. No, I think Mac Jones will be fine. I cannot wait. I hope Purdy misses. That would be that's an easy game, too, against the Saints. They could win that game. Mac Jones could win a game in 2025. That's awesome. What other receivers did well? Debo, G. Will. God, talk about just 3 wide receivers you weren't excited to take. Debo Samuels, Michael Pittman, and Garrett Wilson. Not exactly guys to hang your hat on, but here we are, I guess. Keenan Allen. My God, this is weird. This is really weird. JSN, Marv, Sutton. There's CeeDee Lamb, who had 13 targets. Am I reading that right? 13. Yep, 13 targets. And he got lapped by Cortland Sutton. Well, Mac Jones was the guy they wanted. Mac Jones, they wanted him come draft time. That was their guy. As you can see, none of my receivers are up here, by the way. None of my receivers did well besides Rome, who was on the bench. So that's great. Pearsall, Cedric Tillman. Is Cedric Tillman a sneaky good waiver ad? Maybe. Calvin Austin? Maybe. Week 1 is always weird, especially in fantasy. All these wide receivers, I wouldn't get too crazy. I mean, Ricky Pearsall outscored Justin Jefferson. I wouldn't get used to that. Trey Tucker scored a touchdown. Wouldn't get used to that. But I don't know who the hot waiver ads are. I'm sure there are a bunch of fantasy YouTubers that have made like waiver ads. I'm sure add QJ, add Calvin Austin if you're a believer. Fits the offense, aka have Kyle as your head coach. Exactly. Fits the offense as in do what your coach tells you to do and nothing more. Running backs make a lot more sense. The running backs, other than Javonte, kind of out of nowhere. And Travis was a bit of a surprise, Travis Etienne. But other than that, these make sense. Dylan Sampson, interesting ad. Don't know how to feel about him with Judkins entering the backfield. HN, Breece Hall had juice. Talked about it before. This makes a little more sense. Bill, top 20 finish. Not much of a surprise. I wonder how Mac Jones would have turned out if he was a Niner instead of Trey Lance. I don't think he would have been great. And the Niners, well, I think the Niners, that is true. The Niners have Pearsall and that other guy, Jake, whatever his name is. Pearsall and that other tight end, whatever his name was. He scored. What was the fella's name? Jake Tonjes. Heck it. Fuck it. Jake Tonjes is down there somewhere. Why not? Anybody picking up Davis Allen today? Any Davis Allen drafters out there? Michael Mayer? Brock Bowers potentially missing time? Hunter Long? That's my name. Not Long. My last name's not Long. Harold Fannin? Jake Moody. That's another good point. They did sign Kendrick Bourne, so watch out for Kendrick Bourne. So, yeah, week 1 is so funny. Jawan Johnson was tight end 1. You gotta love it. Thank God for Tyler Warren. Dude won me my week. Mac would have been okay game manager with San Fran. Anyone except Bill should have known his ass wasn't going to be the franchise guy. If Brock Purdy is good on the Niners, I feel like Mac Jones could be fine. Obviously, he didn't win the starting job or anything. We're going to find out. I think it's going to be a big game for agendas to see if Mac Jones goes out there and looks really bad. I'm not going to say like, oh, fire Kyle Shanahan. But at a certain point, it's kind of like, you're supposed to be the quarterback whisperer that can do it with anyone. That's kind of where I'm at with Dable also. It's like at a certain point, it's time to whisper to those quarterbacks. You can't just keep hiding behind that. The Niners did sign Kendrick Bourne today. I'll confirm that, but yes. They did. 49ers signing Kendrick Bourne after Juwan Jennings' injury. And I don't think losing Juwan Jennings is that much of a hit, by the way. And I do think Harold Fannon's a good pickup. I agree. Harold Fannon's fun, and he's a good pickup. Browns are going to brown, but Fannon's going to get some work. Joe Flacco loves the tight end. Harold Fannon's just fun. He could be anything. In fact, I think that's going to be my waiver claim. Who do you guys think I should drop? Just, this is very unconventional of me, but who do you guys think I should drop? I got this bench, right? I got Bill. I got Trey Benson, who got some work. Caleb Williams, who's probably going to be my starting guy because Brock's out. Auto-drafted Brock Purdy, by the way. Yahoo picked him for me. Josh Downs really let me down. And Braylon Allen, he got a touchdown and 6 carries, but not exactly too thrilled about it. This is a 12-team league, by the way. So Cardinals defense also completely blew it. So it's tough. I don't know. I kind of want to pick up Fannin, but I'm not dropping Bill. I was right about Bill. All right? This guy's my hero. I mean, he scored against the Giants, which kind of bummed me out, but, stud. Clearly the best RB in that backfield. Jeremy McNichols, just what's even the point? And Austin Eckler. Does anyone look worse than Austin Eckler? Braylon Allen? You think I should drop Braylon Allen? I mean, what did I think of the Giants game? Otis, you clearly weren't here. Very upset, but very upset about the Giants losing. But at the same time, I do think we'll be fine. I think it was more an offensive line issue than anything. I'm not blaming Russ. In fact, I saw a graphic today on Instagram. Russ, not that bad. So I'm going to stick to that. I'm not going to freak out. I think we're going to beat Dallas. If we don't, I made a deal. If the Giants lose to the Cowboys, I have to say that the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl on stream with conviction. I have to say that. So, yeah. And then if Dan Jones beats the Broncos, I got 2 waivers going. And wagers. I got 2 wagers going. Drop Benson. Benson's good, though. Benson's the lead back. Benson looked good. Like, I know he's not exactly a fun name and certainly not a fun face, but he's the lead back. I don't know why Google Translate's just showing up. He's the lead back. But yeah, no, I think the Giants will be fine. We'll see in Dallas. If the Giants lose to the Cowboys, I'm going to be really, really upset. But I think we are. I think we're going to win. I'm pretty confident in it, actually. I think the Giants are going to beat the Cowboys, and call me crazy, I think they're going to beat the Chiefs too. 2-1. Probably lose to the Chargers. 2-1. So that's where I'm at. I think I'm not dropping Trey Benson. He got 6 carries. That's what I mean. All these guys got work. And it would be crazy to drop Josh Downs. And also, thanks, neighbors. Thanks, BT. Thanks, guys. But I still won, so we're good. This team's stout. But the reason I'm thinking about it is I refuse to start George Pickens next week. He is on my bench. I'm not starting anyone against the Giants, even though I should. It's a great matchup, and I will sit here and tell that you should start George Pickens. I am not doing it. I'm not starting anyone against the Giants. No way, no how. No shot. But that's the fantasy recap. Really quick, just want to do this just for fun. Highest scoring kickers of the week. Because you can kind of win some games with kickers. Highest scoring kickers. Spencer Schrader, Joey Sly, Cam Little, Boswell, Fairbairn, Loop, Prater, Aubrey, etc. So, Spencer Schrader, low-key, sneaky good waiver pickup. Cowboys looked good against the Eagles. I disagree. I do disagree. I want to say James enters these streams sometimes. James, who's a Cowboys fan. I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful, but I saw the Cowboys play and I was very underwhelmed. I thought the Eagles couldn't get any pass rush because they didn't have Jalen Carter, and Dak was able to kind of take advantage of that. Other than that, I thought the Cowboys, especially the Cowboys' run defense, looked terrible, and CeeDee Lamb dropped those passes. There's just not much juice on that offense. I'm not worried about Javonte Williams, which that's probably going to bite me in the ass later, but yeah. Browns are looking at trading Njoku due to Fannin. They can likely get a third. That would be cool. That would be an interesting move, honestly. Trading Njoku for a third or a 4. I don't know if they'd get a third, but definitely interesting to consider trading him. We talked about trade candidates, and I said Tyreek Hill's definitely on the move. The Texans are probably going to trade for some O-line. I think David Njoku is also on the block. I'm starting Pickens in my Debo waiver pickup. Yeah, no. As a Giants fan, you should start George Pickens. Everybody should start George Pickens. I won't. I know that cornerback 2 is a real weak spot for the Giants, but I refuse to be the fan that's like, yeah, he scored against my team. I'm all in on the Giants this year. I can't believe you're back. Seriously, Steven, what a moment. What a moment. I had to refresh OBS. But the cool thing about streaming with people here, and I really appreciate you guys being here, the last time I got copyright striked, I didn't know, so I kept playing the footage, and then the NFL, or college football, I should say, got me. It was my Shedeur Sanders film study. The only player Dak throws to is CeeDee Lamb. George Pickens was a waste of time to get. Yeah, especially if they don't re-sign him. A second-round pick and not signing him to a new contract is crazy, which is such a Dallas move, by the way. Cowboys lose by 100. Yeah, that's true. The Cowboys did cover. They covered the spread. I think that was more bad Eagles, though. But I don't disagree. The Cowboys did look better than expected. I don't think Njoku's worth a third, but I think he is worth a trade. All hail King Caleb. If the Browns do the Browns run 12 personnel a lot? I assume they do. I'm not going to lie to you guys and say I watched Browns Bengals. I'm not going to pull up Browns Bengals highlights, but let's do this really quick. I just want to see just one play. Imagine I got copyright striked Best type on YouTube returns. I imagine I got copyright struck for Browns Bengals. That'd be such an L. I just want to see like a Browns offensive play. Not this. Chase Brown. Also, this touchdown was sick. I will say this touchdown was awesome. This touchdown made me really happy. Just as a football fan. Cuts it to the outside, goes in. Patient running. Patient running. Chase Brown drafters are happy. Here we go. What is this? First play, Joe Flacco. Second and 5. Second play. Yeah, you're right. 12 personnel. You're right. Actually, yeah, 12 personnel. They're both out there. Clear the way. Harold Fannin. No, they do run 2 tight ends. I completely agree. I mean, Jerry Jeudy, not exactly someone to get super thrilled about. Is that Samson? Is that 12 again? No. Yeah, no, it's not. Is that Fannin? I think that is Fannin, though. It looks like Fannin. I mean, I don't know for sure. I should just look up the splits instead. Is Fannin the starter? Brown better than Tyrone Tracy. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. Chase Brown's a really good running back. But I like Tyrone Tracy, damn it. I want to see Jerry Jeudy. So funny. Chirping a guy after getting a PI. Nope, there's Njoku. Okay, I just got to look up the snap counts, actually. I got to look up the snap counts. This is interesting to me. This is really interesting. I'm sure there's a website. I just don't know which one. I don't know which one. But let's just compare targets. We'll do that instead. We'll do that. Okay. Targets, 9 to 6. There it is. It's 1 week and a carry. It's 1 week, but I do think Harold Fannin's worth an ad, and I'll probably add him instead of Braylon Allen, just because Braylon Allen is more of a handcuff, if anything. I don't think there will ever be a world where I'm confident starting Braylon Allen unless Breece Hall goes down. So there it is. Fannin could be a beast. Game league winner. In fact, I'm going to put in a claim right now because I don't think the people in my league even know who Harold Fannin is. We'll do it. We'll drop Braylon Allen because I think this could be Trey Benson's backfield. To drop Braylon Allen. I might regret it, but you know what? Fortune favors the bold. We're gonna put $5. Put $5. You know what? We're gonna put $6. $6. Harold Fannin waiver claim has been made. There it is. I'm a believer. Getting more targets than David Njoku. And someone in my league has Njoku, and that's it. So if he needs a tight end, he's screwed. There it is. And we got Caleb Williams riding shotgun. So, yeah, those are the takeaways. Yeah, and yes, Jeff, you did say that. You said that at the end of the stream, and then I got off. I did want to respond to that. Joe Flacco needs one more 300-yard game to break the NFL record. That's awesome. Joe Flacco's played 100 years. I've said it before. He's closer to Dion than Shador in age-wise. Crazy. But good for Joe Flacco. I'm glad he's still playing. I feel like Joe Flacco's life, I don't want to say it's like, oh, Joe Flacco's got an easy life. Being an NFL quarterback seems really difficult. But if you're Joe Flacco, there hasn't been pressure on him to do well since like three or four seasons ago. And like he made the playoffs, so I guess maybe there was pressure in that instance. But in general, Joe Flacco is just kind of chilling. He's just kind of hanging out, going from team to team. He went to Cleveland, then Indy, then back to Cleveland. He's just kind of like, yeah, you know, I'm Joe Flacco. I'm just going to have fun. I'm just going to play loose. Be a pocket quarterback. A dying breed. I got a haul in my league QB. Baker, Saquon, Drake, T, Brock Bowers, Bijan, defense, James Conner. Is that a 4-man? I'm going to guess that's an 8-man league. I'm going to guess. If that's an 8-man league, that's solid, Otis, obviously. Bijan Robinson is your RB2 is kind of nutty. Yeah, how the hell? Yeah, wait, that's like 2 and 3. 10-man league? Who do you play with? I like it, man. I'm not hating. That's funny. I like it. I could see people like kind of being hesitant to draft Saquon, but falling out of the first round, jeez, goodness. Gosh, I mean, yeah, in a 10-man league, I guess Baker's a solid QB. I'm kind of anti-taking Baker in fantasy this year because I feel like you have to pay a premium for his ceiling. It's officially my B-day where I live. Oh, hell yeah, man. Wait, it's nice since he Rat Daddy NFL. I don't know what the IRAT means, but happy birthday, Chris. Happy birthday, pal. I'm happy you're joining us. Happy birthday, pal. Officially Tuesday the 9th, September 9th, 9/9. Chris Brown's birthday. There it is. Happy birthday, Chris. My friends felt bad. I've lost my league 5 times in a row. Is it a keeper? That'd be sick. Well, Joe was moving. I remember that. Like, Joe had a couple of runs. I saw that. I was like, how is Joe Flacco running the ball in 2025? And like, you know, Cleveland clearly needed it. Yeah, Joe, 2 carries, 6 yards. That's nuts. That's crazy to me. Rat snitch. I see. Oh, I see. To Cincy. Or I snitch. Happy birthday, Chris. There it is. Blake returning to the chat. Yeah. So, well, wins across the board. I got my birthday wish. I got back on stream, even though it's not my birthday. There it is, Chris. And don't snitch to the NFL that I'm watching their stuff that's on YouTube. I don't understand how I can watch a different YouTube video, but as soon as it's the NFL, it gets copywritten. Whatever. At least I didn't get a strike. I'll say that much. Next time that happens, and it will happen again probably, then we will sit there, refresh OBS, and fix the problem. Craziest part is the oldest quarterback in training camp. He was the only one that stayed healthy. Yeah, well, Dylan Gabriel's a little flimsy. I'm not going to lie. Dylan Gabriel's not exactly someone I'm super thrilled about. They traded Kenny Pickett, and then Shador's the emergency third reliever. And obviously Deshaun's not going to see the light of day in the NFL. Joe Flacco doing it for love of the game. There's no reason to hit 40 years. That's what I mean. Like, it's not a money thing, even though he is getting paid well. It's not like Joe Flacco's getting peanuts. I think it's fun. I think that's a cool spot to be in. It's like a nice throwback. I hope he plays forever. Tell him I'm slandering Caleb Williams. No, I mean, I'll tell him. Caleb Williams sucks. He's now one of my least favorite guys. I was ranting about Caleb for a while, and then the whole copyright thing happened, so he sucks. He's bad. His earrings are janky. He doesn't know how to fit. He doesn't know how to throw a fit. Unless it's talking about having a temper tantrum. Eagles, Chiefs. I don't know if you're asking me or the chat, Blake, but Eagles will win. For sure. I think the Chiefs are not going to be great this year. Patrick Mahomes is awesome. I'm not going to say he's not. But, yeah, I think the Giants are going to be the Chiefs. So, there it is. Like, I'm not super thrilled about this team. I mean, if Xavier Worthy's going to miss time, and we don't know that for sure, but if Xavier Worthy plays, it's a little tougher to defend the Giants. Not as much the Eagles. But Xavier Worthy, be careful showing. What happened to Matt B. Great? You know what? I don't know what happened to Matt B. Great, but I do watch his videos, and he starts all of them with, "This is fair use. If you take this video down, I will respond." That's a vengeful guy, and I admire the hell out of that. I'd blame the Bears' loss on O-line. Running game never got going to put much. No, Otis. We're not doing that. Caleb held the ball way too long. He was waiting for the perfect pass. That is his ultimate flaw. He's Carson Wentz. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's Carson Wentz. And that's not a good thing. Because Carson Wentz he played tonight. Well, he didn't play, but he suited up tonight. He was J.J. McCarthy's backup. Carson Wentz was probably on the sideline sitting there like, it's not going to work. I tried that, buddy. It's not going to work. Deshaun Watson might play because Kevin and Andrew Berry was impressed from Deshaun Watson workout he had. Honestly, go ahead. Play him. Who cares? Play him. Let's do it. Let's do it. Is that the Caleb slander? Yeah, Caleb sucks. Look, the NFL can do whatever it wants. I won't be silenced. This guy sucks. He stinks. Xavier Worthy officially has a dislocated shoulder. What's the story with that? Is that like a multiple week injury? Can we count on him to miss the Giants game? I don't root for injury. I root for players to recover from injury, though, so I want him to take his time. Let's look this up. Xavier Worthy injury. I'm very curious. Xavier Worthy injury. Like, what does a dislocated shoulder actually look like? Worthy of concern. Week to week. Let's see. What do doctors say, though? Like, what do doctors say? Okay. As far as injuries go, Xavier's going to be the big question. He's rehabbing. He's day-to-day. Didn't dwell on it. Something that happens. Doesn't happen very often. Yeah, Travis Kelce's an idiot. I guess we'll never know. I'm no doctor, but I'm not asking ChatGPT, but seems like a seems like a day-to-day, week-to-week thing. This is a funny picture of Andy Reid. So we'll stick to that. Even though here's an actual doctor. I'm just worried to get copywritten. What's the story here, Doc? My headset's turned off.
The plan then to get x-rays is because you have to make sure that there's no fracture. Somebody who just sustains a simple dislocation, meaning the ball pops out, comes back in, isn't reduced, and there's no fracture, could theoretically go back in the same game. It's going to be very rare, especially for somebody who's had a first-time dislocation.
There it is.
That's probably why he was at first questionable, because if your range of motion improves really quickly, your pain is good, and you can functionally do what you need to do, you can allow him to go back out and play. But what can happen when that ball and socket dislocate is the ball can slide past the labrum, and you can get what's called a bony Bankart injury, where there's a fracture of the socket part of the shoulder. Remember, part of that items on the differential is going to be an AC joint injury, which is going to be this up here, where the tip of the collarbone meets the tip of the shoulder blade.
All right, he'll probably be fine. I wouldn't be thrilled about it if I was Xavier Worthy. I'd probably be like pretty annoyed that now that my shoulder's, gonna hurt probably for the rest of my life because Travis Kelce's an idiot who ran into me. I'd be pretty pissed. Let me respond to what you guys said though. Is that Caleb Slander right here? Always. It's 1:15. Got to get to school. Yeah, that's cool, Chris. Have a good night, pal. He got demonetized from the creator program due to showing CFB footage, even though he only shows high school footage. The copyright thing is so dumb. The NFL is like all about like being a digital footprint, making like tweets and TikTok dances and all that stuff until they lose a penny from it. Until they lose like the smallest margin of like profit from it. And it's not even lose. If you look at the big picture, and this could kill sports leagues. Not like immediately, obviously. Over the next like 30 or so years, people don't watch cable. People go on YouTube and watch highlights. People watch Flight Reacts. Obviously a much bigger YouTuber than me, right? Not obviously Flight, right? People would rather sometimes just watch this. They'd rather just watch this or this. They'd rather watch like someone react to highlights that were posted to the internet. So the fact that the NFL's like, yoink, not only are we going to take the money from that, but we're going to take people's platforms away because they don't want to understand it, drives me up the wall. Makes me so mad. Makes me so mad. What else you guys say? The biggest play Travis Kelce had all night. Exactly. Don't mean to be me and Caleb over Russ. I mean, I'm not going to go that far. At least we can pivot off Russ. At least Russ is on a 1-year deal. If they miss on Caleb Williams, like what's the plan? Bajan? Not the worst. Dislocated my shoulder 6 times over the past 10 years. It never heals right. Exactly. I can't imagine it does. I got rounded shoulders. I feel ya. It's just not fun. It's not a fun thing. So like, I don't know. I'm no doctor. I just would be pissed if my own teammate hurt me on week 1, and now the Chiefs have to throw to Hollywood and Juju. And let's not forget that Rashee Rice blew out his ACL, not because of tackle, not because of a non-contact thing, but because Pat Mahomes went right through his knee. Brutal. What do I think of Uncle Rico's fantasy team? What's up, Blake? Hey, I'm going to put you 1 in the power rankings. Spoiler, I'm going to put you 1 in the power rankings. I think your team's solid. I'm going to put you 1 in the power rankings. I'm glad you joined the stream. Russ can throw a good moon ball. Exactly. That's all that matters. That is all that matters to me. Oh, boy. But to be honest, that's really all I have to say about football at the moment. Fantasy was cool. Week 1 was awesome. Xavier Worthy will probably play. But week 1 was awesome. So going towards week 2, just want to close this out real quick. I think the Packers are going to win by a hefty margin. Obviously, I could be wrong. It's a primetime game, and the season just started. Playing on September 11th. That's very early in the season. Anything can happen. But, yeah, I think the Packers are going to win by a lot. Bring in BTA, and we're going to see the first primetime blowout of the year. But that's really all I've got. So unless anyone has anything else they want to bring up, it's pretty much all I have to say. And then I'll obviously stream after this game, and then we'll do our predictions with the spread. A spoiler, I'm picking the Giants. So there you go. But we got to look through the rest of these games because a lot of these could go either way. Bears, Lions, interesting. Patriots, Dolphins, both 0-1. Can't be excited if you're a Dolphins fan. Bills, Jets might be sneaky competitive. Browns, Ravens. Ravens will probably kill them. Broncos, Colts. We know how I feel about that one. Eagles, Chiefs, big test. I have no idea what's going to happen here. Bucks, Texans. We got a doubleheader on Monday Night Football, so we'll have 2 games to discuss, 2 games to watch, and 2 honestly interesting games. Two barn burners. We're gonna have Raiders, Chargers. So who the hell knows? But yeah. So Giants roster-wise are good, but that schedule is going to kill them. They should be contending for the wild card. Thank you. Schedule's going to hurt, but schedule's an illusion. I'm not going to let schedule define the season. Winning, like the season, things have to change. If the Giants can put together a fine season, we'll be good. If the Giants can put together a fine season, we'll be good culturally, and we'll have a lot more leverage going into next year, where Dallas is probably going to be worse considerably. The Commanders are going to have to start paying people. Same thing with the Eagles. The NFC East will drop down. The Giants have to step up. I'm getting cut off. Have to step up. Show some improvement. They should give Josh Allen MVP after the SNF game. Yeah, maybe. That was sick. That was a real Josh Allen thing. Schedule will make him go 5-12, 6-11. One in the power rankings, just like them Bolts. Yeah, I don't know about all that. Chargers did look good, though. Chargers did look good. Hell yeah. Schedule will make him go 5-12, 6-11. Maybe. That's likely, but I've said it before. I'll say it again. Giants are 0-1. I'm going to be delusional as delusional as I can this year. Giants are going 16-1. Giants are going to win every game from here on out. Call it. Giants are going to win every game. And and if the Giants start 0-16, I'm picking them in week 17. I will not be the pessimistic Giants fan like I saw so many people on Twitter and Instagram being like, this season's over. It's like it's Groundhog Day. No, dude. We played a team that was in the NFC Championship last year, and we have a new quarterback. The wheels are moving. Things are changing. Don't be sleeping on my Browns. They beat the Ravens and the Steelers at least once a year. I agree. I think the Ravens are just going to be particularly upset. But no, the Browns, the AFC North will always be competitive, and I love that. Divisional matchups mean a lot in the NFL. That's why the NFL will always be better than the NBA. And the fact that I forget which owner floated the idea to just cut divisions entirely, what a terrible move. If you want to realign the divisions, I don't think that's the craziest idea. I love the NFC East, like how it's built, but the Cowboys aren't from the East Coast. I would much rather have the Jets or I'll say it, the Patriots. Got a good rookie developing in Dart, two young RBs, Neighbors, Tracy, exactly. Solid wide receivers, LT, good defense, exactly. The pieces are there. We just have to put them together. You don't get points. Same thing with the Bears. Same exact thing with the Bears. You don't get points for having a great roster. You get points for winning games. But I agree. Time to fix the O-line, exactly. I don't think the Commanders will get blown out. Jaden Daniels is a lot more calm than Jared Goff. I don't disagree with that. I do think Daniels is better than Goff. And I'll say that. I'm kind of anti-Commanders a little bit. But I will say, I do think, God, I'm like really stuffed up. But I do think the Commanders are not that great of a team, but Jaden Daniels is awesome. Jaden Daniels is the quarterback that overcomes having a bad team. You put Caleb Williams on the Commanders, they're picking top 5 last year. Call it. With certainty. You guys tell me if I'm wrong about that, but yeah. Yeah, Cowboys should be in the NFC South. No, for sure. I've thought about making a video about that. Is that a thing people would watch? Like what the NFL would look like if it was realigned? I feel like people have done that before, but it's something I find really interesting. Like what a modern realignment would look like. The Texans feel like an NFC team. I don't want to unpack that any further, but the Texans feel like an NFC team. I think it's just because they were Navy, but that's it. They should have gotten guys like Zeitler and Cam Robinson. Well, Kevin Zeitler on the Giants is kind of a disaster waiting to happen. We've had him before, just not great. Saints or Dolphins, Titans, who will have a worse record? The Titans are going to be good. The Titans are going to be better, and I've been on record saying Titans 0-17 season. I don't want to walk back that take, but I can't in good faith say that the Dolphins are going to be better than the Titans. I don't think the Saints are going to be great, but they looked a lot stronger than I expected. Maybe that was more so bad Cardinals, but who knows? I do think the Dolphins should be in a discussion. I do think the Dolphins are in trouble. I think culturally the Dolphins are in a big bind right now, and I don't see a world where they beat the Patriots. Certainly they don't beat the Bills in Buffalo. They might compete against the Jets. They might beat the Panthers, but then they got the Chargers. It's not an impossible schedule, but it's just they're not going to beat the good teams. They're not going to beat Tampa or Cincy or the Steelers or the Bills. They're going to get swept by the Bills. They're not going to beat the Ravens. Like, if you add it all up, what's their ceiling? 7 wins? Like, is Mike McDaniels going to survive a 7-win season? I don't think so. I like, it's week 1, no sense in hitting the panic button, but I just don't see a world where this Dolphins team figures it out. The vibes are at an all-time low. Commanders took Bobby Johnson, Giants public enemy number 1. Good games, yeah. Wait, is that Giants Bobby Johnson? How have I never heard of Bobby Johnson? Am I crazy? Bob Johnson. Who the hell is that? Because good QB. No, for sure. Good QB play trumps bad O-line play. Bob Johnson. Who the hell? Samson, the real deal. Good question, Jay Grossman. I think you've been in here before. So welcome back, buddy. I think Dylan Sampson's good. I don't think the Browns is a high upside offense, and I'm worried about Judkins' involvement in the offense. But I do think Sampson's worth at least an ad in a fantasy league. Spencer Rattler looks better than Caleb Williams. Maybe. I called Dolphins being asked back in April, and no one believed me. I don't think that was like some crazy hot take. Our former O-line coach. That is it. I knew I knew it. No, and now that you say that, I do remember Bob Johnson. They got our O-line coach. That blows. And that blows. Good. And yeah, the Commanders' O-line didn't look great, by the way. The Giants got 3 sacks and multiple holding calls. But then again, Giants' O-line couldn't get figured out either, so I don't know what the hell to do. I don't know what to do. The offensive line's been awful for a decade. We can't fix it. I don't know what to do. John Michael Schmidt, maybe I want to claw my own eyes out. 2nd-round pick. But yet the Eagles take Landon Dickerson, and he's awesome. Drives me crazy. Drives me absolutely crazy. But yeah, I don't think the Dolphins are much to be excited about. And then you go, one last thing I'll say about the Giants: not having Andrew Thomas is huge. It's huge. Not having your best offensive lineman who also plays left tackle, huge, absolutely gigantic. But Greg Van Roten, my God, dude, just my God. Greg Van Roten, John Michael Schmidt, just our interior offensive line's a disaster. Evan Neal wasn't even active. He was a healthy scratch. We healthy scratched Evan Neal. Like, what the hell? Evan Neal. And then Illuminor is a walking penalty. So there you go. We always blame our battle lines on him. Now that he's gone, they're moving ahead. It's just cursed at the point. I don't know what else it could be. Exactly. It is crazy. Is it the jersey? Is it the logo on the helmet? Is it the turf? Is it the New Jersey Air? We've made the changes. We've invested a lot. We've made changes. What is it going to take? Dylan Sampson had the most receptions on the Browns, so will get receiving yards. That's a good point. PPR machine. Matthew Stafford will get injured, and the Seahawks make the playoffs. Well, I mean, predicting injuries, you don't really get credit for that, Otis. And also, he's already hurt. He's an old quarterback. You don't get credit for predicting injuries. Seahawks making the playoffs is bold, though. I do appreciate that. I disagree, because I don't think Sam Darnold's all that. And I think we all saw that fumble, so I don't think Sam Darnold's all that. AT always misses games. We need to start planning around him, for sure. An O-line is not a five-man group. O-line is all about depth at the position. And, I got a weird feeling Aaron Stinney's not good. I know James Hudson isn't. I know Ezidou better. I know Ezidu's not good. I'm praying Marcus Mbow is good. I'm praying, okay? I hope, dude. We need him to be good. We need him. I could see the Finns winning 4 games. Exactly. Does that make them the worst team in the NFL, though? 4-win season? Probably not. I'd say the Saints pick higher. I don't think Arch is going to come out, and I don't even think Arch is like a set-in-stone number 1 overall pick. I think generational intangible or generational talents that are all tangible talent and no actual pen to paper college success. I think the NFL is going to finally understand that these generational guys are not, that much to be excited about. I think it's way more to do with I'm barely making sense. I think it has way more to do with the situation than the actual prospect. And I think in the age of NIL where everyone thinks they're hot shit, you got to make sure to actually draft a good player that can be developed. Not exactly a guy who thinks he has everything figured out, or not a guy that has all these tangible, awesome traits. Your Trevor Lawrences, Caleb Williams, Arch Mannings. I don't think that's a way to build a winner. And like I said in my tanking video, putting the whole stake of your franchise on a 22-year-old and expecting him day one to come in and be ready, too much. Way too much. If you guys can find a right tackle, interior line has a very high hit rate early. I agree. Unless you're the Giants. I mean, John Michael Schmidt was a 2nd-round pick, and he was probably the worst offensive lineman I saw all day. To be fair, a late 2nd-round pick. But still, he got first-round looks. I can see why he fell out, though. As a Bears fan, I'm over the generational talk. Jay, I didn't know you were a Bears fan. Yeah, we've been slandering Caleb a lot tonight because he was the reason I got booted off stream with a copyright. I don't think he's good. Straight up. And he's so easy to root against. And I don't care about the nails. I don't care about the crying in the sideline. But if you're going to say you don't get nervous, if you're going to go like, yeah, when you go for it on fourth, when you're going to be all aura farming and not win the game, it doesn't spell well. Sam played a good game. It was mainly the O-line. He still played great. Sam Cosme? Wait, Sam. We still talking about the Giants? Sam. I could be tripping out. It was mainly the O-line. Sam Darnold. Interior O-line. Interior O-line is an issue in Seattle, no doubt. But they drafted Gray Zabel. He should be good. I want my team to hold out for DJ. He has generational upside. DJ Lagway. Is that? I don't know, man. I don't know. DJ Lagway. I mean, I've heard the name. Is that the dude who transferred? That's not him, right? DJ Lagway. Let me look this up. Hell yeah. QB Lagway struggles. 20 years old, born in 2005. That's nuts. That's nuts, bro. And he's in college. That makes sense. It's just as crazy. Oh, that's right. They lost to USF. We'll see. We'll see. But again, generational upside. Hey, AR, Florida quarterback, generational upside. And here we are. So drafting quarterbacks is really tough. What else you guys say? What do you think about Pickens and MHJ this year? I drafted Pickens. Big fan. But I'm not starting Pickens next week. But Jacob, I will tell you with confidence, you should start Pickens. I'm just not starting because he's playing the Giants. What I mean by Stafford getting injured is like CMC. Fair enough. Fair enough. We traded up for Tay Banks, could have sat and just took Zay Flowers. Oh, yeah. But Zay Flowers wouldn't have been a good Giant. Let's be honest. I wanted the Giants to take Zay Flowers. He wasn't going to be a good Giant. Like, he just wasn't. Like, the Giants really struggle to develop receivers. The Giants need, like, generational prospects to be good at receiver. And I say that knowing Plaxico, Victor Cruz, Manningham, all those guys. Like, the Giants have a great history of receivers. But lately, let's just sit and take them early. Let's not overthink it. Let's not reinvent the wheel. We took Wandale, and he's kind of been underwhelming. Shout out Wandale. Used to be a believer in Lagway, but they lost to USF. I was thinking of Nico, but yeah. All right, I finally caught up with the chat. I hate not responding to what you guys say immediately, but I also got to like finish these thoughts. I was thinking of Nico. He also didn't look awesome, but yeah. I believe DJ Lagway's got a strong arm and is mobile, but people said the same thing about AR. I do like Lenore Sellers. I do agree with you there, Otis. His card in CFB is awesome, and I think talent profile, Lenore Sellers is great, and he's also the kind of guy where he's not going to go in with like lofty expectations out of South Carolina, and I think you can really like sit and develop him. Put him in NOLA, put him in New Orleans, and I think he'll be good. I think he'll be good and be developed. Zay was bulletproof no matter the system. I don't know about that. I don't think Zay has been that amazing with Baltimore. He's been really good, but I don't think he's been that amazing. This year, he could prove me wrong. If Zay Flowers continues the trajectory he's on, which currently he's fantasy wide receiver 1, if Zay Flowers continues that, I'll eat my words. Maybe Zay Flowers could have been good anywhere. But from what I've seen to this point, especially with the injuries, I don't think Zay Flowers would have been for sure home run Giants win. Of course, better than Tay Banks. Not going to disagree with you there. Zay does drop a lot. I do agree. Neighbors drops passes, but Neighbors is cool. I like Neighbors. Has there not? Exactly. Besides this year, 2022, has there not been a non-generational guy? Exactly. There's a generational QB, a generational pass rusher every single year. I do think Abdul Carter is a really great prospect. But generational, well, what sucks about the generational term, and I want to really pound this home because obviously we all disagree with it. What I think is funny about the generational thing is that people will sit and say that, and then they'll blame the players. And like, yes, players should be held accountable for being bad. It's more so Mel Kiper's fault and all these draft analysts. And I'm a guy who makes mock drafts. I love studying the draft. It's really fun. But it's all these draft analysts that say generational. They put it out there. The media imposes these expectations. So, like, I'm not going to say these guys should be fined or punished for having opinions because that's, not exactly where a free speech state or free speech nation wants to go. But at a certain point, we have to start looking at ourselves in the mirror as media members. If you want to call me a member of the media or not. At a certain point, the media has to look in the mirror and stop calling these guys generational and then them underwhelming and then calling them busts and then calling for them to get cut. And this is why I don't want Jackson Dart to start immediately because Jackson Dart's going to go out there and if he struggles, the media is going to say he sucks. All the headlines tomorrow are going to be Caleb Williams is bad, which yeah, but at a certain point, the media was also what called him generational. And Caleb is kind of an outlier because he definitely wore the generational thing like very proudly. But usually it just gets tiring. I'm sure someone out there said Bryce Young was a generational talent. And like, good God almighty. T-Law, AR, Caleb, like all these guys. Burrow. Fantasy tight end video. How dare you talk about Brock Bowers? That's a good pull, Otis. That's a really good pull. That was a while ago. That was a long while ago. That was before I actually intended to make like sports YouTube videos. Good pull. I did say Brock Bowers was going to be bad his rookie season. I did say that. I more so meant situationally, but I was wrong. I was way wrong. I'll eat the L on that one. And it wasn't even like, oh, Brock Bowers is bad, but it was more situationally. I don't think Brock Bowers is a bad player. Andrew Luck and Cam Newton. Yes. I was early on Mahomes, but I didn't say generational. Yes. Andrew Luck and Cam Newton. Who else? Trevor. I'd say Trevor was like described as generational. I had been following Trevor since high school. I was so like excited. I was like, he was still in high school, and I was thinking 3 years ahead for the Giants tank. I was like, oh, we can get DJ, and then we can get a bridge guy, and then we can take Trevor, and then life will be perfect. The Jags tanked perfectly for Trevor. Didn't work out. There were points where people said Tua was generational, or at least a guy worth tanking for. And now I think Tua's not going to make it out the season, genuinely. So, yeah. The generational QB topic is something I could go on for hours about, but I feel like I hit it pretty well with the tanking video. So, let's just, I'm not going to watch it, but I'm just saying, if you want to hear a more detailed stance on tanking, there it is. Tanking's for Losers. One of my favorite videos I've made. Check it out if you like my stuff. I think it's a good one. 20K views, which is crazy numbers for me. I can't believe my owner video did 1,000 views, by the way. That's crazy. I don't even know where that came from. That video did awful when I first dropped it. Not biased at all. I'm a Raiders fan. Mahomes shouldn't make the Hall of Fame. Yeah, that's biased. Mahomes will be in the Hall of Fame. Come on now. Come on, Otis. Come on, Otis. I gotta slow your roll a little bit there. I don't know what to pull up now. Back to the Giants depth chart. Let's go to week 2, actually. What else? Meant to say upside. Huge difference in generational upside and generational prospect. I agree. I do agree. Generational upside is different. Generational upside that's fine. I can live with that. Generational upside is like, he is like Trey Lance, generational upside. Hell, Josh Allen, generational upside. And I'd say Josh Allen fulfilled it. I'd say he met the mark and then some. I don't think it's a hot take to say Josh Allen was worth the draft pick. Generational upside. I think that conjures a more realistic expectation of his ceiling is being a generational player. That's his absolute ceiling. To call someone a generational prospect, unfair. Always thought he was a guy. Never thought T-Law was generational. Always thought he was a guy benefited from being surrounded by talent. I'm not a college watcher, so I can't really speak to that as much. But I'm sure Clemson, national champions, I'm sure he had plenty of help. Was Hunter Renfrow on that team? I know he went to Clemson. Was Hunter Renfrow on that Clemson team? Great route runner, Hunter Renfrow. Andrew Luck's a good example of generational prospect. AR had generational upside. Not the same at all. I completely agree. Very succinct way to put it. Very succinct and good way to put it. But yeah, guys, I think we've beaten the horse on the generational thing. I think the horse is dead. I don't think anybody is like, yeah, Trevor Lawrence, he's awesome. I don't think anyone's excited about 61%, 178 yards and a touchdown. Still can't believe the league missed on Lamar. Oh, seriously. Oh, my God. It went Lamar, the wide receiver, Lamar, the running back, and the Ravens just sat pat. The Ravens took Hayden Hurst ahead of Lamar. The whole league was down on Lamar, and he proved them all wrong. And I would say, as it stands right now, Lamar's the most talented quarterback in the NFL. I'll just leave that where it is. And I like that 2018 class was fun. It is fun, like going back and like poking holes and like being like, I knew this player would be good. I knew that player would be bad. I'll be full disclosure. I was a big Baker believer, and I was big, and that was about it. And I was just anti Josh Rosen and Sam Darnold. I can say that with certainty. I wasn't like, oh, Lamar's going to be great. And I wasn't like, oh, Josh Allen's awesome. Because all those like weird tweets from Josh Allen came out. So I didn't really want to, make a firm stance on the fella. But at a certain point, it's like, all I remember is I was big on Baker, which kind of hit, kind of didn't. and I was very confident Josh Rosen wouldn't be good. Very confident, and I was right about that. This year is different. Garrett Nussmeier is the most generational talent ever. Yeah, there it is. I don't get the Drew Aller hype either. I honestly, I'm only believing in sellers. And again, I'm not a college watcher, so you guys probably know better than I do. I like sellers, and that's it. Let's look at a 2025 mock or 2026 NFL mock. The Draft Network. Why not? Why not? Let's see what we got. Let's see what Jamie Eisner has to say. All right. This was yesterday at 5. So this was after Nussmeier. I'm not a believer. I'm just not a believer. I loved Josh, and Rosen was a weirdo. I would have loved if the Giants got Lamar in round 2. Well, that would have been sick, but I don't think we could have developed him. Not in a Pat Shurmur offense. I don't think we could have developed him. No way, no how. Or was that Pat Shurmur? I think it was. Yeah, that was Pat Shurmur season. That was great. Or was that McAdoo? I don't actually remember. Whatever. Sellers, here we go. I think this is a good pick. And a good fit, no less. I think it's a really good pick, really good fit. Lenore Sellers. I've already said it, but I'm a Sellers believer. Not as much Nussmeier. I keep butchering it. Nussmeier. He brings a gunslinger mentality, throws a beautiful deep ball, plenty of confidence in his arm. He can win inside and outside of structure, and is already a hometown hero. Just not buying it. His card in CFB sucks. That's usually how I'm grading these guys, because I'm not an NFL scout and I don't watch college. Giants taking offensive line would be a huge help, or Caleb Downs, one or the other. I'd be really thrilled. I don't think the Giants will be picking 4, though. I'm an LSU fan. I like Nuss. I don't know about generational. Exactly. And I don't know. Insta-lock number 1 pick? That seems like a lot. Drew Aller gives me vibes as Levis. I like that. I just don't. I think there's a lot to the school a quarterback comes from. I think there's a lot to that. And Chris was chirping me last night about how Jackson Dart came from Ole Miss, and the last good Ole Miss quarterback was Eli. I don't know. Hot take, Arch his ass. He's way overhyped. He hasn't played good football. Won't even be an NFL starter. Wow. All right, Otis. I like it. I like the heat of the take. I don't agree that he's not going to be an NFL starter, but I like it. I like it a lot. Time will tell. Who's the next quarterback off the board? Fernando Mendoza. No one brought up Olferny. No one brought him up. I've never heard of this guy. Big-bodied passer with a quick release and plenty of arm talent. Don't be surprised if he plays his way into the top 5 conversation. There you go. And that would be a sick fit with the Rams. You can't scout the team on the helmet. Got to scout the player. I know that, but it's just tough. Like I refuse to believe in an Alabama quarterback, and I guess Jalen Hurts proved me wrong there. So, yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Drew Aller, 15. So this would have Drew Aller as the 4th quarterback off the board. Isn't coming off his strongest performance, but 6'4", 225, brings plenty of experience. Yeah, I don't know. Anytime plenty of experience, that's kind of a red flag. It's like, congrats, you played a lot in college. Like that. And collected a bunch of NIL money. Congratulations. Any other QBs in this mock? I'm sure there are a lot of prospects here. I'm sure you guys, it seems like you guys watch college, so I'm sure you guys are like, Nicholas Singleton in the 1st round? But like, I don't know. The only reason I thought Stroud wouldn't be good, he was an Ohio State QB. Same. I thought Stroud was going to suck. I was completely wrong about that. I got to be honest. I thought Stroud was going to be really bad. I watched his film and I was just like, I don't believe in this guy for 1 second. Cam Ward gives me Will Levis vibes. Fair. I don't know. I feel like Annie Valix has more ethos in that discussion. Will Levis was fun. Hate it or love it, Will Levis was fun. That Monday night win over the Dolphins, another Tua loss, by the way. That Monday night win was sick. And that was the same night Tommy DeVito won in Green Bay, or beat Green Bay. So that was sick. Long picture wasn't great. Garrett Nussmeier. I keep saying Nussmeiser. I might just call him Nussermeiser. I don't know. Garrett Nussy. Anyway, being a number 1 pick is just as bad as Raiders picking Cleveland Farrell in 2019. Great pull. That was so awful. 2019. Josh Allen. Now Josh Hines Allen. Josh Allen sitting there at 6. You sit pat and you take the best player on the board. And Dave Gettleman said, screw you, we're taking Dan Jones. And we're still paying for it. Say what you want about Dan Jones yesterday. I don't think he was worth the 6th overall pick in 2019, ahead of Josh Hines Allen. Ward played good, but the Titans have nothing. Exactly. I think Ward's in a tough spot. But the great quarterbacks find a way. The great QBs find a way. You know, at a certain point, you have to understand with Caleb, it's like they put all the help around him and he still sucked. So you get to a point where it's like the great quarterbacks figure it out. Jaden Daniels figured it out. Josh Allen figured it out eventually, even though the Bills weren't like bad. Josh Allen, though, he figured it out. All these teams, great quarterbacks figure it out. And that's what I'm hoping Dart does. I'm hoping Dart comes in whenever that is. Maybe this year, maybe not. Just picked a random week. Week 9 against San Fran, maybe. He comes in and he figures it out. He overcomes the lack of help, even though he would have some help for sure. Dylan Gabriel will play better than Shedeur. I don't even think that's that much of a hot take. I think the Browns think that. I think the Browns like very much agree with you. And the Browns know better than any of us who's better, Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur. I think the Browns see that. So I don't think it's a hot take. And Jeff, you would know. I mean, you know, Browns fan. So can't say I disagree with you. Cannot say I disagree with you. But yeah, this has been a fun QB conversation. Hey, let me ask you guys a question, and then we'll probably get off soon. Let me ask you guys a question, though. Do you guys think that QBs run the ball like considerably more now? Is that a thing you noticed this week? Because like Blake, I don't know if he's still in here or not. He brought up a good point. A lot of running quarterbacks, and not as much like mobile quarterbacks, just quarterbacks that are running the football. Russ led his team in rushing. I think Pat led his team in rushing. Who else? Baker led his team in rushing, and there was one more. I think it was Jalen Hurts. Yeah, Hurts, Mahomes, Baker, and Russ all led their team in rushing. Joe Flacco was almost got there. A bunch of guys like almost outran their running backs. Caleb almost had more rushing yards than DeAndre Swift. So do you think there's a lot more running quarterbacks? And do you think there's like a little something to that and how that kind of impacts the game on a macro scale? McCarthy game tonight shows the best development is on the field, not the sideline. I mean, I don't know if that's for certain. I don't know about that. McCarthy took a whole season off. He took a whole season off. And yes, you learn on the field, but like he also like has some more help. The Vikings have a much better culture and like Jage, we'll see. We'll find out. We will find out. We will find out. I think quarterbacks are a case-by-case basis, though. Dylan Gabriel's better at processing, and he runs Kevin's offense really well. I don't disagree, but he's short, and I don't like him. And I also don't believe in Oregon QBs. I don't like the take that we should wait for Andrew Thomas. If Thomas gets injured while Dart's playing, are you going to take out Dart then? Like, what are we doing? Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's so much waiting for Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas better come back soon, dude. Liz Frank, that's a pain. I get it. Having a Liz Frank as an offensive lineman is a pain. I have a Liz Frank break in my foot. And it's obviously not to the same degree, and I'm not putting 300 pounds on it, like as an NFL player. Take some ibuprofen and get out there, dude. We need you. We really need you. Tape it up and you know, and let's go. Let's work. Let's do it. They do. Players like Lamar and Allen changed the game on how to draft QBs. Yeah, no, I agree. But you'd think like running quarterbacks, and I think Tom has brought it up too. I think Tom brought it up. It's like the offenses are way more simple. So when the pocket breaks down, quarterbacks are like, I'm just going to huck it and run. The fact that Joe Flacco is running the ball is crazy to me. The fact that Joe Flacco is second in the team in rushing, no, he's not. He's third. But the fact that Joe Flacco ran it twice yesterday is crazy to me. That's nuts. But yeah, that O-line wasn't great in the first half. MJJ was getting hit and he figured it out. Yeah, he figured it out. Fair enough. Look, time will tell. The thing that I will keep defaulting to is I'm just going to trust Dable. I'm going to trust whatever Dable does. Give Dable the season. Let him develop Dart. He has said, I love you to Jackson Dart, which is something I get stressed about saying to people. So if Dable's saying it with his job on the line, I can't knock it. I mean, I love you guys, but I mean women. Like, if I'm trusting Dable, if there's one thing I will give Dable credit for, it's developing and getting the absolute most out of quarterbacks. He got wins out of Tommy DeVito. He got some good starts out of Tyrod, and he got a playoff appearance and a win out of Dan Jones. I trust Dable to develop quarterbacks. So whatever he does, I'm going to stick with it. If he comes out and says Dart's going to start week 8, I'm say let's roll. If he says Dart's not going to play this season, I'm good with it. I'm trusting Dable. I'm defaulting to the NFL head coach. I want to trust Dable, but he's giving me less and less reasons. I'd say everywhere besides the quarterback. Everywhere besides the quarterback. He's giving me less reasons to believe. I don't disagree. But yeah, fellas. Okay. Then I think I'm going to do a video about the QBs scrambling upside. Or maybe I'll just do the current state of quarterbacks. I don't know. I might drill it down a little more. I think my next video is going to be on quarterbacks, though. Either rushing quarterbacks, so I'm thinking calling it the death of the pocket passer, or kind of the current state of NFL QBs. Because I do think this conversation we've had about generational prospects holds a lot of value. But I also kind of hit on it in the tanking video, so I don't want to really double dip that much. But yeah, I think I'll talk about rushing quarterbacks in my next video. So I'll be working on that this week. But yeah, Jarvis is going to bed, and to be honest, I'm feeling the same way. There's been like 25 quarterbacks that have scrambling upside. Well, I feel like every quarterback's running, so everyone has scrambling upside. But I do agree. But Jarvis is going to bed, and to be honest, I feel the same way, guys. It's getting late. It's almost 11 on the West Coast, so I can only imagine you East Coast watchers. But I really appreciate you guys watching. Obviously, tonight was a little rockier of a stream than we're used to. Things changed, but having you guys in the chat makes it a lot easier to know when I'm being copywritten, so I won't at least get a strike, and then we can adapt in real time. So I appreciate you guys. But yeah, Jarvis, been a good night, been a good talk. I appreciate it, guys. I really appreciate you guys stopping by. So smash a like, check out my video, share it to everybody you know. And Dable's a good head coach, but I think he's more of a fit as an OC to a defensive-minded head coach. Not a bad take. Not a bad take. But anyways, I'm going to get off for the night, guys. I'd love to see a video like that. I appreciate that. Cool. Then I'll work on it. I'll work on it for you guys. I appreciate that. But I'm going to get off for the night. You guys have been awesome. I'll respond to what you guys say in the chat, but this is my outro. So I will see you guys on Thursday. I think the Commanders are going to lose by 100. And that's that. See you next. And we never got our wish. We want to see Dan Jones in a Taysom Hill role. Dan Jones tush push. Believe me, it will happen a lot. He got a few QB sneaks. Good night, man. I appreciate that, guys. You guys have a good night as well. All right. I will see you on Thursday. Go Giants. And go whatever team you're a fan of. All right. Besides Dallas.